So this has been a bucket list car for me for as long back as I can remember. Uh, if you were to ask me of all cars, what's my favorite car, I would say a '59 Cadillac. Uh, but there's a difference between like unicorn cars and your daily cars that you see a million of on marketplace. You know, like the '51 Chevy that I have, the Fleet Line. That's a car that you can look all day and find style lines, deluxes. You can find maybe not a bunch of Fleet Lines, but there's more out there than, like you don't have too much trouble finding one for around the 10 grand mark. Running and driving even 10 to 14. And when there's certain cars that I just don't bother even looking for. Like I don't search on a daily basis for a '59 Cadillac or a '58 Impala or 59 Impala. There's certain cars that are just hard to obtain and they are just out of my price range. And if you do find one in my price range, they're so far gone that they need complete restoration. This one's kind of borderline to that. So 55 Cadillac is one of my bucket list cars. It's one of my favorite cars. I love anything from a 1948 to a 1962, even a 64. 48 through 64 Cadillac, I love them. I try to stay with the earlier ones. I like the 50s. I'm a 50s guy, you know what I mean? The 60, I love the 60 Cadillac as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they were just spaceships, you know what I mean? This one's a little less spaceshipy, if that makes sense. But it's definitely just as long. I mean, I have about this much room for my garage door to shut. So I guess I'm just feeling grateful. By the grace of God, I'll go through the story real quick because that's what this is all about. I try to document these things so that I can keep record. This YouTube channel, I'm not trying to be a celebrity and I'm not trying to make it big anywhere. I don't expect this channel to go anywhere. I can't even believe I have 2,000 subscribers. But I'm grateful, and I do this to document everything that I buy and do. Not everything, obviously, but I want to look back on these home videos, and I want to show my kids hey, remember when Daddy had that car or whatever. So, and sometimes I watch my own videos. I'll watch my other Model A build kind of motivates me to work on this Model A, and I'll forget how I did certain things. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that's how I did that. It's all for productivity. It's all a positive thing, and I enjoy creating and editing. But this car, the story goes, I was on Marketplace and I do my nightly searches. I look for Cadillacs, I look for hot rods, rat rods. Even though I'm not a big rat rod guy, sometimes there's hot rods in there that are just called rat rods. And sometimes they just throw in, you might find a 50 Fleet Line Chevy in the rat rod section just because it's has some rust on it. People just categorize things wrong. So you got to do your nightly searches. And when I was going down the rabbit hole, I saw this on there for $20,000. Now, as you know, I just sold my '58 Bel Air and I had a couple bucks put back and I was in the market for something else. I don't like to have cash sitting around because cash sitting around doesn't do anybody any good. Cash sitting around gets incrementally spent on stupid crap that isn't of any value. I might spend some on a tattoo or on coffee or let's go out to eat. And then that's just gone. And then you have to save money from your paycheck and put that back. I don't believe in that. I like to invest money that I have put back from a car into another car and try to make it worth more money. Makes sense, right? So I had 10 grand that I wanted to play around with. And so this was on there for 20 grand. Then like a week later, it was on there for like 14. And I was like, well, it wouldn't hurt to call and make an offer. So I got the phone number. I called and a nice woman answered and said, hey, are you the guy that I just said I'd let it go for 6.5 for? And I thought I was like hearing things. And I'm like, 6.5? Like, what do you mean? And she was like, 6,500. You were the guy I just talked to. And I was like, no, I'm not him, but I'll give you 6.5 for it right now. And to make a long story short, I ended up getting it for 6. Well, really, I ended up getting it. She ended up giving it to me for 5.5. Plus, I paid for the shipping. It ended up coming to 6 grand even. I paid for her trailer. I paid for the gas, and her and a man and a couple other people delivered it. And it's from Ohio. It's 3 hours away. I had no way of getting it. Normally, I have buddies that'll run and pick it up, but like I was stuck, and I would have paid a lot more for this car. It's a 2-door Cadillac, Coupe Deville, no post car. This is a dream car of mine, and it's. I just can't believe that it's here. Now, with that being said, I have a lot of work to do to it. It needs some rocker work. It needs some door work. It needs body work. It needs floor. The front floor pans are rotted out. It needs some work. But it runs and drives supposedly. The brakes work because I pulled it off the trailer. The brakes were all updated. I looked at the brake lines. They all look new. It has brand new tires on it, wide whites, which, as you know, are ridiculously expensive. The door is in the trunk. The door was repaired, the driver's side door, and it was never put back on. So it has its issues, but the interior is decent, which I'm going to show you all this in a minute. But I just kind of wanted to tell you guys, I know that this channel is kind of manic and bipolar. There's a different car. There's cars coming and going. Sometimes I don't finish them. Actually, I don't know if I ever really finished a car. The Bel Air was pretty much finished. The 51's about as finished as it's going to get unless I put an LS in it or a small block Chevy. But like it's running and driving, and I didn't really have to do much to that. This car is a car that I will probably, I say this now, but I probably will forever keep. I just want to bring it to the best that it can be and drive it. And it has 92,000 original miles on it. And it's a beauty. It's everything that I ever wanted. I never expected to get one, but here it is. I'm going to stop, crying on here over it. I'm just excited about it. And I'm excited to dig in, but let's go over the car. So I got to keep the wide lens on in this video as much as possible because there is no room in here. So this is what I was talking about. That's how much room. And, it is up against the freaking... So there you go. So before I can do anything to this car, before I can even like dig into it, I got the 29 over there. And, there's space, once you get around, but like the 29, before I even move the 29 out of the way, I gotta get the carport. The carport is full of stupid stuff. I could clear that out in like 20 minutes, but that needs to be cleared out. And I need to get a couple buddies in here to help me move the 29 into there. And then this whole garage will be dedicated to her. And she has a name, but I forget the name. And I don't like to change the name of cars if they already had a name. So I'm just probably going to keep calling. I want to say it was like Rosalina or something, which is kind of cheesy, but whatever, that's her name. So let's get into some interior here. So The problem's right off the bat, obviously. It has a cracked window here. I love that there's no post, man. I love that. Right away, there's just rocker damage. I'm gonna have to cut all that out and repair it. It's not a big deal to me. I might find stuff in this video that I didn't see. The interior. This door card's a little eh. The dash, good. Seats, good. This is a window, by the way, for that door, for the door over there. Back seats, not bad. All this stuff, all the carpet needs to be ripped out. And headliner, a little messed up back there, but other than that, I'll leave that like that, man. I'll rock it like that. Not bad. Yeah, so it needs a, I can tell you right now, it needs a battery. It has no battery in it. Door shuts okay. Oh, and then this, man, I didn't even notice that. When you shut the door, this flaps down, the rain guard. That's awesome. So continuing on, that doesn't look too bad. As far as the trunk goes, well, first of all, another really cool thing is, I don't know if you can tell, maybe I'll try to get in here, but the exhaust comes out the bumper. So that's where the exhaust comes out on these 55s, which is super awesome. The chrome on this car looks pretty good. I can't complain about that. Now I gotta find the keys, man. Where did I put the keys? Oh, there they are. All right, so I'm gonna try to open this. Like, I can't even like fit back here, but yeah, we'll get in here somehow. All right, I got to get these keys made before I break them too. The ignition key and they're getting a little rough. All right, so there's the brand new. There's another brand new tire. Still has the stuff on it. Let me take this off wide, but there's the other door. We'll get the flashlight on here. So there's the door. That it's in primer because it was repaired. This must be the bottom of the old door. What was on it? I don't. Yeah, that looks like it was cut. That's from the door, I believe. And then there looks like there's a bag full of goodies over there. There's more trim. I'm seeing there's the door card. There's more. There's all kinds of. There's trim and all kinds of stuff in here. That 455 fender. Yeah, and the trunk itself is supposedly solid. I was underneath this car. The trunk lid's fine. I was underneath this car when we unloaded it, and I was able to see. I might have to open this garage door. Yeah, I'm going to open the garage door. All right, so I was underneath this car when we unloaded it, and I was able to see exactly what was going on in the rear, and the rear end looks great. Let's see here. There's more of the seat. Like the dash looks fine. There's not even any cracks. It's a little wavy up there, but I can live with that. There's even a little note in here that says, "I love you very much." I got a little bit of free money going on in here, and the vents and the styling. So I know I'm like almost afraid to peel this back. I know that the floor is bad. Well, I mean, dude, it's bad. See, like those brake lines look all right. I can replace this floor pan, no problem. And you know, it's not the end of the world. Now this rocker, all right, so this side has the trim on it. I have this other piece of trim. Like there's a piece. I'm not even sure where that goes. But anyway, you know, I think that, now that's soaked back there. Like I got to get this carpet out of here, and I got to really assess this. I'm not going to do it in this video, but it's not that bad. I just, you know, it's going to take some work. It's not going to be, you know, all the hubcaps are here, which is a huge plus because they're like $1,000 alone just to get hubcaps. But I want to crawl over here and show you guys another cool thing about, if you know about Cadillacs, then you know, but the enable to, oh my god, climbing around, dude, this is terrible. I'm going to shut this. Let me make sure I have the keys in my pocket. Yeah. I don't want to. All right, so when you want to get, when you get gas, why is that not? This is how you get gas. So that's where the gas goes in. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of cool features on this car. I'm trying not to. I love the two-tone. Like I love the roof. It has a little bit of damage to it. You know, and there was a lot of critters hanging out on this car. But all the trim, like all these little chrome pieces, like everything's there. It has its patina, which I love. I don't want to, I'm not a fan of a perfect car, because if it's a perfect car, I'm not going to want to drive it. I'm going to be scared to drive it. So all in all, I mean, I'm going to steel wool all of this trim. Like, it's not bad. This is the worst piece of trim, and then it goes to being fine. And I'm going to bring that back. I think I can do it pretty easily. The only other part on here, I saw like down in here, it was getting a little rough, but I really don't think it's, these usually get bad along here, and they're not bad. All right, so I guess what everyone's waiting for here, let's see where it's at. It's right here. Heavy ass hood. All right, so it is missing a key element. I'm going to put this on normal lens here. All right, so it is missing the air cleaner, which kind of sucks, and it needs a new battery. Those air cleaners for the dual carbs, I believe this is a, now I should know this because you know, I just should know it, but I believe this is a 390 Cadillac engine. It's definitely a Cadillac engine, but I think it's a 390. Everything in here is original. I just need to, I need to do my homework and learn more about this, you know, because there's a lot I don't know about this car. I might try to put that battery on a charger and see if it'll charge. I highly doubt it, but wouldn't that be something? That'd be cool. And then like maybe I could come out here and try to get it started, because I definitely want to hear it run. It supposedly runs just fine, but you know, that's taking everybody's word, you know. But yeah, I need to get an air cleaner, and I want to clean this up. Like I really want to, I can't wait to come out here and have more time and just get my hands on this thing and clean everything. There's a roll of tape down there. There's like, you know, someone got this a little greasy. There's grease hand marks all over this, but all in all, I mean, I'm a pretty happy camper. All right, so let's do what we always do here. Um, the plan, right? So my plan with this first order of business is to clean it up. I want to clean it up. I want to clean it out. I want to tear the carpets out, assess all the floor damage, buy new floor pans, fix the floor, patch the body, wherever it's rotting and anywhere where there's light rust, I want to rust encapsulate and paint, the whole 9 yards just to stop the cancer. And that's going to be the first order of business. Second, I got to match the door. The door's in primer, the driver's side door. I have to match the paint and I got to get that sprayed. Just like the Bel Air, if you remember, I had a primered fender that drove me nuts, and it took forever to get the paint matched and to try to make it look semi acceptable. And it looked great in pictures, but if you saw it up close, you were like, yeah, that doesn't quite match. I want this to try to match. I want to match the patina. I don't want to have a brand new door on this, worn paint. So I got to try to match it. I'll probably spray balm it, dude. I mean, because this isn't like a glossy, paint on here. I think I could match it with spray balm and make it look acceptable. I got to get the engine. I got to get a battery. Want to get the engine running, driving. I want to see if this thing stops okay. I have to assess the brakes. I got to get an air cleaner. I want to get new carpeting for the inside. Carpeting for these on eBay, for the full thing, for the front, back, everything, is like $200. So it's like, why not get brand new carpeting? I'll probably kill mat it. I'll probably rust encapsulate the whole floor, take the seats out, do the whole floor, and then, that sounds like that's not a lot, but that's a ton of work to do everything I just said. Plus, as I'm doing all that, as you know, I'm going to run into 500 other things. This window's cracked. Eventually, I'll get a new window. That shouldn't be too hard to source out. I'll look tonight on eBay and see if I can grab a passenger side window. Shouldn't be that much. I'm going to say around $100. I'm going to try to keep this budget at like $2,000. I had 10 to put into this car. That's what I was willing to spend on it, and I got it for 6. So, I have $4,000 to kind of play around with that I won't lose sleep over spending on it. And we'll see. That's kind of going to be my challenge point. If I can get this car done in a $4,000 spending limit, if I have to spend more than that, who cares? The car will be worth a lot more than than $10,000. It's worth more than $10,000 right now. But if I want to, it's just like a little game I'll play, like a challenge for myself. It'll make it interesting and fun. I'm going to try to get this done with a $4,000 cap. And I want to run it. I want to run it and drive it. My goal is to maybe take it to the Rockabilly Ruckus this August. And right now it's January, so that seems like it would be reasonable. Even if it's not done cosmetically, if it runs and drives there, that would be cool. Even if the body's in, if the patches are in primer or whatever, it's not going to be a show car. I want to drive it and I want to enjoy it and make memories in it. And that's all that really matters to me. And then someday when I'm laying in a ditch somewhere, if my children want to, that sounded pretty dark, but, whatever happens to me someday, if my kids, want to sell it or, do whatever they will with it. But I want it to run and drive and do what it's supposed to do, function. And I want to have fun. So that's the goal. That's the plan. This is, the assessment video of the newcomer. I do all these with every car that I do. If you're new at watching this, and also if you're new at watching this, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a fabricator. I don't do body work. I'm not a painter. I wing everything I do. I just have fun. I'm learning every day with every build. So don't take my advice. Anything you see me do in these videos, I don't know what I'm doing. And if you do know what you're doing and you're watching this, you're going to find a million flaws. So I expect that. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm super stoked about this 1955 Cadillac. Many more videos to come. I'm going to bring this thing to life. It's my, goal to have it done by summer. To have it done by August is my goal. And the local car shows, I'm going to drive the 51 to the local car shows, but like anywhere far away, I want to get this ready. And that's that. And I'll be picking away at the 29. I'll be picking away at the Model A. I'm going to build it in the carport, just like last winter when I was building my 30 Model A out there. I'm going to build that in the same place. I kind of miss working out there in a strange way, even though it was terrible. But like, there's plenty of room to work on that car in that small carport. Whereas if I try to keep it in here, it's going to limit my space with this giant land yacht. So that's that. That's my plan. To be continued. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.